These walls can talk. Open your mind and listen.
Trailing down these hollow halls, can you hear me? Staring down these storied walls, can you see me?
Hey everybody out there. Okay, so I guess I just had to rant off a little bit about this one today. Watching an episode, sort of kind of going over the etymology about how somebody becomes famous and whatnot, and unfortunately, some people become famous and like there's very positive reasons behind it, and but we become the fact that this person becomes an expert just because they become famous. So I watched the show In Search Of. I used to watch it with Leonard Nimoy back in the 70s, and now I watch it with Zachary Quinto. I kind of enjoy it. Don't agree with everything that goes on the show, and it's obviously done in a very dramatic fashion. It was back in the day when, can somebody tap in and tell me if I am playing it right? Okay, yeah, we're good. I've just got my playback happening in the background there. It looks like I'm watching my own video from last night, and I was thinking, oh, damn it, I'm playing the wrong thing. So, going back to the show. Leonard Nimoy and In Search Of back in the day was dramatic. It wasn't really overly factual to a degree. Last night, anyway, it was about the afterlife, which involved cryogenic freezing and people that have lived life after death and yada, 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 which is all fine and dandy. These are all self-experiences that you've all had. Then, I watched as at one point in the show, Gary Galka was introduced, and obviously this is interest to me. Gary Galka was the creator of the millimeter, which most teams out there that can afford one get. We had one. We still do up north. Down here, one of our members broke it, so we had to buy another one. To which case, I made the investment on a tri-field. The millimeter was seen as somewhat of a legendary thing. And true enough, it didn't spike off as much as, say, the Mel or the K2. A lot more had to happen to it, and he's an engineer. Gary Galka was an engineer. And so he's got the knowledge of how to develop these type of things. But because you develop a tool doesn't make you an authority. Like I'm completely useless when it comes to developing stuff like this. And some people consider I've got a bit of authority on the topic. But this is all just how it balances and checks, right? So if you watch the episode, I'm not going to link it. I'm not going to send any videos. I have no video right to it. I don't need to have a copyright challenge. I feel a little sorry about the whole situation, frankly. Gary Galka, I know lately has been having a bit of a love fest with Zach Baggins too. I had a lot of respect. I know that his daughter had died, daughter Melissa, and that's why it's called the millimeter. But it looks like, of course, it was created so that he could be in contact with her. And his specially developed DVP devices that are just to get the voice. Okay, fair enough. All right. I could see this, obviously. He's a little biased. I mean, obviously, he's had the death of a child. He wants to contact his child. So the downside to that is that he is biased. A lot of people have barked off on me about that already. They've seen my comments. I've had a few messages. It's too bad. But it's the truth, okay? When he showed the evidence, where he calls it proof, and the most disputable thing, it shows him being in his bedroom. And all of a sudden, a flurry of snow comes in the room. You see, that was the angel. That was her. It came in and kissed me goodnight. I've never felt it. The easily most debunkable segment in the entire show we're being presented by the expert on the entire show and being presented as fact by Zachary Quinto of the entire show. That's a very frustrating thing to watch. I mean, I can create this snow on my DVR cameras, and you have a desperate father that wants to talk to his daughter, and this is completely understandable. But now all of a sudden he's being kissed by a flake of dust that comes in the room, which it's so, who the hell knows, maybe it was an angel, but you know what? You and all, anybody out there that does anything with the paranormal understands it is so debunkable that it's not even a thing that we even consider. Um, it's honestly, it's what teams that really are learning and starting consider evidence. But he also speaks about it in a proof level, like in that theorized first person that, you know what, this is my daughter. But we all don't know this. This is why, I'll even say that 70% of what I have, as I presented in evidence, probably in years past, I would look back on and debunk it somehow. Because what it is it's evidence. It's all in how you present it. Had Gary Galka said, I have faith, I think this might have been my daughter, I might have taken it a little differently. But, we're talking about this as being an educated proof. And there's no such thing. What we do is a pseudoscience. And he ended up just looking like a wingnut. And then later on, when he was doing the special EVP session, one of the things that we do, I know when we present EVPs, is we'll show them in their, let the client listen to them in their raw file, and then we may amplify it 20%. That's it. That's all I'll allow. He's using a shack hack, and you could tell that the audio had been marred, from low to high to, it was. If you watch the episode, and please do, you'll see what I mean. Like where it's "Tell Mom it's okay" or something like that. It sounds pieced. So this is the look to me from somebody who wants to hear it so badly. Like, look, bits about me. My son died. My son never really got born. He was almost there, and his heart stopped in utero. So sure, I'd love to talk to him, right? I've been through the losing a child. I've never had a child grow and then pass on, and that I couldn't throw up even thinking about. But I've been there, and my mom died when I was 18. So would love to be able to speak to her, right? But I've never had anything where I put down a concrete proof that yes, this is absolutely my mom, and I have proof. There's no such thing as proof. We're a pseudoscience. If you even want to be taken seriously by anybody, understand that what we can talk about is the fact that we're researching something, and there's nothing ashamed about that. And we're using different kinds of methods, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Even those that use Connect and whatever, as long as what you're not doing is purporting results that are false, right? False or unsubstantiated. And wrongly, in saying that this is proof. This is a little girl standing next to me in the video. Well, or I can say, here's an anomaly that occurred while I was on video. So using terms like anomaly and all that, evidence is fine. Here's something I couldn't debunk. So this is my evidence. Evidence is disputable. So I was a little fried up watching this, and I realized that Gary Galka became somewhat of a legend because he created the bell meter. Now he knows everything about what we're doing. It was much like how the Constantinos became EVP experts, and all these other people that became famous and amazing, like Zach Baggins. A lot of people look at Zach Baggins as being the Moxie truth on the whole thing. First off, paranormal. The GAC was founded by Nick, not him, not Zach. Zach was a disc jockey at a wedding. So you're going to love, 1 minute he's a DJ that lives in Las Vegas, who's loud, tall, good-looking, and muscular, so now he's a bloody expert. It's amazing that every single investigation he comes to, he has the most incredible evidence that you've ever seen out there. The same goes for all the TV shows. Like, there are shows I enjoy because they seem a bit more earnest. I like Lockdown. Nick Groff is a pretty nice guy, and he seems more sincere. But as the seasons go on and he becomes more popular and his legend grows, there's more and more toys and more people speaking of proof. The name escapes me right now off the top of my head, but the one that created the Wonder Box there, he was in Vegas talking to the ghosts of the Aldine concert that got shot. Like, just And he was speaking to the Constantinos already. Huff Paranormal, Steve Huff. Became famous for all the wrong reasons. Gadgetry and wizardry, that's all wonderful. But it's still what that is gadgetry and wizardry. So, remember, these people are fallible, and because they say it doesn't make it right. Because I'm saying it doesn't make it right. I'm just some shimp that runs a team, and right now I'm kind of temporarily not even investigating, right? So everything is disputable. We debunked our own proof. Oh, I use that word. There you go. Our own evidence from 7 years ago. Something 7 years ago, we were like, this we can't figure it out. My wife was putting together the 101 video that I could teach from, and she debunked it 7 years ago. So everything is debatable, right? No such thing as proof. So I just had to chime in about the whole episode. It was just friggin' terrible. Unfortunately, I lost a real respect cookie last night because it was really dramatic. I know it's a TV show, but it could have been worded in a certain way, and everybody does see that as being the Bible truth. EMF is not the determination of an investigation. EMF is a predetermination. You bring EMF into the picture for two reasons. One is to predetermine if there are electrical interferences which could be causing the effect, and then maybe to have it as kind of a barometer along the way, that if it's going crazy in a place it shouldn't be going, maybe it's another reason to ask another question. Never, ever, ever, ever lock an investigation down because of EMF results, please. If anybody's learning out there, I've had teams do it, and I went and I debunked it. We had one where it was at a museum, and because of the EMF, everybody lost their mind. This place is haunted. There was a fire suppression system. The electrical component of it was right below the floor, giving off in the exact same spot. You can put a clear reading down. So because a show says it, doesn't mean it's true. Okay? Because you're told a history, it doesn't mean it's true. We investigate. Sorry if I got a candy in my mouth here, got cold. Lots of places where you walk in, the claims are, a nurse killed herself here, or somebody was raped, or whatever. This trend continues everywhere. Look, everywhere, even places that friends of ours run. I'm hearing new claims. And I got to be honest with you, until I have something in writing, I generally call BS on that, which is exactly why the only place I have ever given a shout out to was Ashmore Estates, and that's only because the old newspaper articles are there. And we've actually, well, it's ironic that we got some EVPs that substantiated names that were written that died there tragically, 120 years ago. And that's still evidence. It's not proof. That's just evidence. It is something to talk about. But please, because somebody who does what they do it, don't take it as Bible truth, okay? That was a real disgusting episode last night. It really was. And I'm into the show. I think it's great. But, man, that was... to the level of pathetic, really. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate mail about this, but anyway, you won't get that from me. So nobody's talking, nobody's yapping, so leave your comments and chat later.